Beneath the dry leaves along the deserted road, a man suddenly heard faint moans, like a desperate plea for help. He bent down and searched carefully, discovering a tiny creature writhing on the cold ground. It was a newborn squirrel, its pale pink skin gradually turning purplish from the cold, covered in dust and dirt. Her small eyes remained tightly closed, her frail body lacking the strength to defend itself against the imminent dangers. The tiny squirrel is only the size of an adult's fingertip, so small that it's easily overlooked among the leaves. If it weren't for the faint, continuous chirping sound, perhaps no one would have noticed its presence. The man guessed that the squirrel had accidentally fallen out of its nest, and what was more worrying was that some ants had started to swarm in, trying to attack the vulnerable little creature. Without a moment's hesitation, he gently picked up the squirrel and placed it in the palm of his hand. Despite its incredibly small size, the animal still struggled, as if clinging to its last chance of survival. Looking at that creature, the man sensed a powerful, burning will to survive within it. He quickly took the squirrel home and, using a clean, soft cloth, carefully brushed away every speck of dust clinging to its tiny body. Next, he prepared a special feeding tube specifically designed for very small newborn animals. As soon as it smelled the familiar scent of milk, the squirrel immediately found the end of the tube and quickly drank in gulps. Because of his extremely small size, every action the man takes must be incredibly gentle and precise. He always carefully controlled the force of his hands to avoid injuring its extremely fragile body. In the days that followed, taking care of the squirrel became a familiar part of his daily life. He made sure to feed her on time, keep her warm, and patiently monitored every small change. With each passing day, the squirrel grew a little healthier and gradually overcame the most critical stage. After about 4 weeks, the first strands of hair began to grow, covering the tiny body. And the eyes that had been tightly closed have now opened to gaze upon the world around them. From a frail creature that seemed incapable of survival, the squirrel miraculously grew day by day. More than 6 months have passed since it was rescued, and the squirrel has now grown into a healthy and beautiful animal. Its soft, silky gray fur and bright, intelligent eyes make it incredibly adorable. The little animal is also very mischievous, often running and jumping around the house and creating funny situations. All the family members loved the squirrel because they had witnessed its touching journey of growing up. Squirrels are well known for their skillful climbing abilities, using their long tails to maintain balance while moving. Newborn squirrels often have their eyes closed, are unable to care for themselves, and are completely dependent on their mothers. This little story reminds us that sometimes just one timely act of kindness can change a life.